Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Danielle Corinne 999 here with a special message for you today. I want to welcome you to this channel, and if you're new here, please subscribe if you haven't already done so, but welcome. And today we're going to be talking about being optimistic but not being foolish. So there's a lot of things going on in this world today. There's a lot going on. There's a lot. And there was a time where I made a declaration to myself that I wasn't watching news because it was too messy. It was too, toxic. It was too negative. So I kind of turned a blind eye to the news because I didn't want to watch it. I felt like, by me watching the news, it would get into my spirit and it would just kind of basically, how can I say, maybe just make me toxic, right? Give me toxic thoughts, give me toxic feelings. And while that may be true, or maybe not, because you have to guard your heart, you do have to guard your heart. But at the same time, you have to know what's going on in this world. You don't want to be foolish because ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is foolishness. When you don't know what's going on, you are subject to being fooled. You are subject to being manipulated. But when you do know what's going on, you can prepare yourself and you can guard yourself and you can protect yourself to the best of your abilities. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the world. And this New Year's, happy 2025, but I just don't believe that this is really a new year. I made a video about, are we being lied to about the holidays? And you can watch that video here. Are we being lied to about the holidays? Are we being lied to about New Year? I know the Mayan calendar, I think it stopped at 2012. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody in the comments, please correct me if I'm wrong. But we've been taught to believe all of these things, that it's a new year, that it's Christmas, or whatever, Christ's birthday, all these holidays, all these pagan holidays. And I made it a point this year to not make any New Year's resolutions. I'm not making any New Year's resolutions. Because resolutions, to me, they don't last. Now, I don't know about you. Maybe you're going to make some goals. Maybe you're going to make some resolutions. This year, all I'm really doing is setting intentions. I'm setting intentions to be more discerning. I'm setting intentions to be more alert and aware. That's what I'm doing for this year and beyond. There's too much going on in the world to be foolish. There's too much going on in the world to not know what's going on, to turn a blind eye, to turn it off. We need to be prepared. We need to prepare ourselves spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. Because if we don't, we may not be around to see when things get better. Right now, we're going through the darkness. We are going through the darkness. This is I don't know. I think this is probably like one of the worst times in history. One of, because there's been some bad times in history, but I think we're embarking on one of the worst times as well. They're already saying that our economic, where we are in the economy, is going to mirror the Great Depression from the 1920s. And I believe it. There's going to be another housing crash. I believe it. We're in an inflation crisis. Inflation is at an all-time high. Crime is at an all-time high. So when we look at what's going on in the world, we still need to be hopeful. We still need to be optimistic, but we can't be foolish. We can't stick our head in the sand and act like all of the crime, the inflation, the just outright evilness is not going on. We can't turn a blind eye to that. We can't pretend that it don't exist. And if we've been doing it before, we can't do it anymore. We have to wake up and we have to really see what's going on. There's a fog, right, all around the world that's making people sick. I don't know about you, but I've had like this, I'm not sick, but I've had like this stuffy nose for about over a week now. And it's just like my nostrils just like closed, like my sinuses. Like, what is going on? My daughter has had a cough on and off since October. Took her to the doctor. Oh, it's not COVID. Nobody knows what's wrong with her. But yet she has this unbearable cough on and off. What is going on? People are getting sick. People are getting unalived. I talked about this yesterday in my video about the guy who pushed the guy right onto the subway tracks while the train was moving. What a demonic attack. We are living in some troubled times. Just this morning in New Orleans, a guy rammed into a crowd with his truck. They thinking he was a terrorist. Killed 10 people in New Orleans. Had a shootout with the police. Injured 35 people. Rammed his truck into a crowd of people on purpose. Where do they do that at? These are the times that we're living in. Rent is at an all-time high. My rent went up exponentially overnight. People cannot afford to pay their rent anymore. They're living in their cars. Homelessness on the streets is becoming illegal. There are so many homeless people. People can't afford to live. They can't. Inflation is at an all-time high. You buy one bag of groceries, you are spending a ton of money. We are going through a dark time right now. But we must be optimistic and hopeful. We must keep our faith. Faith is the only thing that's going to get us through this thing. That's it. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. People, if only, I know you people think, if only I had more money, then I'll be set. That's not true. Money is not going to save your soul. There are people with money who unalive themselves. Look at Robin Williams and other celebrities. Just look it up. Money is not going to save you from the turmoil and the torment that your soul is going through. If your spirit is broken and everywhere you turn, it just looks like despair and pain, you're going to want to leave this planet. So it's not about the money. It's about your spirit. It's about your mind. How strong are you spiritually? How strong are you emotionally? How strong are you mentally to endure all the pain and the suffering that goes on in this world? The torture, the torment, the terrorism, the financial abuse, the sexual abuse. You name it, we are victims to it. It doesn't matter how much money you have. So don't kid yourself that if you had a ton of money that you're going to be, I'm just going to be so happy. Money, yes, it's a tool to help you buy things, but it doesn't save your soul. The only thing that can save your soul is your connection to God. Your faith in God. And your faith that God will see you through all the troubled times. Because you think you're wealthy or you have money, you're not going to have troubled times? Hogwash. You are. You are. There's no respect to persons when it comes to pain and suffering. money or no money. But I'm telling you today to remain hopeful, remain optimistic, even during these troubled times, because it's going to get worse. I don't think we've seen the worst of it yet. Oh, the time is coming. It's been leading up to it, but it's coming. We are in probably one of the worst times in history. Right up there with all the other ancient civilizations and the depression and the collapse of, all these different depressions and all these different times in history. We're going to be right up there. It's coming. But it's all about how you look at it. It's all about how you deal with it. I made a video about how what you frequently see determines your frequency. That means what do you consistently tune into? Yes, I'm telling you to be aware of what's going on in the world. Be aware. Because ignorance is foolishness. Don't be a fool. Be aware. Know what's going on. Because when you're aware, you can protect yourself. You have to know what's going on. But at the same time, don't let it scare you. Know what's going on and be like, okay, that's what I'm up against. You gotta know what you're up against so that you can fight the battle successfully. If you don't know if you don't want to be snuck attacked, you don't want something coming up from behind and sneaking and attacking you. That's the equivalent of not knowing what's going on in the world. Because if you don't know what's going on, then you're going to be, oh, what happened? Why me? Why was me? No, that's because you wasn't prepared. What's going on in the world? You see the drones and you don't know what's going on. You don't know about the fog that's going on that's making people sick. You don't know about the orbs. You don't know about the aliens. You don't know about any of this stuff. Then you can't live under a rock. Because you're going to get blindsided. You're going to get blindsided and then you're going to be wondering, how did this happen to me? Because you weren't aware. But when you're aware and you know what's going on, you can plan your next moves the best way that you can. And you go on saying, hey, you know what? I got my plan into place and I'm just going to keep going on. I'm not going to let it scare me. I'm going to keep going on and I'm going to go and do the things that I need to do for myself and for my family. And I have faith that everything is going to work out because I'm going to put my plan into action if necessary. Because I know what their plan is. So now I have my plan. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be planning. And I'm not saying you need to be, stocking up on food and things like that, because look at Puerto Rico. They lost electricity. Food could be spoiled. When I say planning, I mean planning spiritually, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Planning your next moves. Knowing what you're up against. We're up against some dark forces. Evil. Because there's some evil people out there setting people on fire, unaliving people, pushing people on train tracks, running them over. It's just crazy. Setting bombs. We're up against evil forces. So how do you deal with evil forces? What do you do? I'm going to leave that up to you. What do you feel that you need to do? What do you feel like you need to do? How do you fight an evil force? Well, if you read your Bible, it says we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, evil, wickedness in high places. So how do you fight that? Spiritually. Spiritually. Put on the whole armor of God. and God will direct your path. But you have to be connected. You just can't be out here, willy-dilly, lollygagging and not knowing what's going on, being distracted about all these other things. You have to connect with God. Otherwise, you're not going to get any direction. You're not going to know what to do. You're going to be a scaredy cat and living in fear. God didn't give you the spirit of fear, but of a sound mind. So through these trying times, you need to have a sound mind and a plan. Forget about all these resolutions. Oh, I'm going to lose weight. Yeah, you can lose weight. Your resolution shouldn't be to lose weight. Your resolution should be to be healthy. Healthy. It's not all about the weight. It's about health. Drinking more water, eating more healthy foods, building up your stamina so that need be, you can run. What if you need to run a long distance? Can you do it? We need to start changing our mindsets. But with that comes optimism, and with that comes being hopeful and having faith, but at the same time, not being foolish. Don't be ignorant. Don't be a fool. Open your eyes, see what's going on. Open your ears, listen to hear what's going on. Watch the things that you need to watch so you can know how to prepare yourself and your family for what's to come. Understand when, these mystery illnesses are just coming out of nowhere. Where's it coming from? You don't know. Find out. Where could it possibly be coming from? We have TikTok, which, you can either watch all the silly dances and all the funny cat videos, or you can be watching the news or news reports from real people that's saying that this is what's going on in their area, in their neighborhoods, in their city, in their state. They're showing what's going on. Tune in so you can know what's going on. So you're not blindsided. All right. Well, this is my message for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a comment down below. Share this video. Like this video. Please also click the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. Subscribe to this channel. I appreciate you watching. Until next time, peace, love, and light. Take care.